Greetings everybody, I'm Base6286, and this is a somewhat special Let's Play. For those of you who don't know, at the beginning of this month, I think it was around the 6th, I want to say, I can't remember the exact date, but Samus and the whole Metroid series, really, had its 25th anniversary this year, which is pretty freaking awesome, especially since I'm a huge fan of Metroid, so, you know, that's all good stuff and everything. So I've been wanting to do something for that. Had a couple ideas in mind. I thought maybe do the original Metroid, you know, that makes sense, but I actually kind of suck at that game, so I decided not to do that. And I've already done Metroid Zero Mission on the Video Game Hub, so I thought, yeah, well, let's do the next best thing, and pick Metroid 2, The Return of Samus. Which, I don't know, it's not really as well known as some of the other games in this series, which is kind of interesting. So we'll get to talk more about that, but, anyways, let's get started here. So, first off, on the title screen, there's actually some things you can do. If you press left or right on the control pad, you can actually pick multiple files, which took me a little bit to figure out. But yeah, we have file 1, 2, and 3 here, and you can also, if you press select, go down here and clear files, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, let's get started with this interesting game that came out in 1991. Yeah, a lot of people actually talk about how Super Metroid brought a lot of new mechanics and everything to the series, but this game actually came out before Super Metroid, so a lot of the mechanics you see in Super Metroid actually come from this, that weren't in the original ones, like being able to shoot downwards or being able to crouch and shoot and that kind of thing. Also, starting out with the beam stretching across the entire screen instead of having to pick up the long beam or whatever it was. So, but yeah, this game came out after Metroid 1, before Super Metroid. This is on the Game Boy. The first Game Boy, the one that looked like a brick, which is kind of cool. And actually, I didn't find out about this game. Whoa, that had me freaked out for a little bit there. That was kind of funny. But I actually didn't find out about this game until a lot later. I didn't even know it existed until at least around high school, if not the end of high school. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. Let's see, some things to note. Story-wise, this game is it comes before Super Metroid. Super Metroid's actually the sequel to this game, but it actually takes place after all of the Metroid games. So, or not the Metroid games, the Metroid Prime games is what I meant to say. So after Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, sometime after that is when this story takes place. You don't get to hear much about it. They don't really have an intro or anything like Super Metroid did. But basically what our goal here, what's going on, is we've been a bounty hunter for a while, you know, doing awesome things throughout the galaxy, but there's this new threat that's kind of shown up. It's been, I guess it's been hinted at throughout the Prime games and everything, but it's become a huge threat, and that is the Metroids. And we've been contacted by the Federation and whatnot to kind of kill them all, because they think they should, they think that they're, you know, they have the ability to say that, you know, we can just wipe out a race here. And God, this thing is owning me. This, by the way, is a Metroid, one of the Metroids that we have to fight. You might look at it and think that it doesn't look at all like a Metroid, but as you can see, it actually hatched from a Metroid here. And what's going on with that is the Metroids you're used to seeing are actually the larva stages of a real Metroid. And so like most of the Metroids you encounter are all larval pupil babies basically, and what that was called an Alpha Metroid. I don't think you see them in any of the Metroid games other than this one actually, but it's like the first stage after a baby Metroid. So oddly enough, you don't need an ice beam to take care of them. You just need five good missile shots there. And luckily this game is kind enough that we actually start out with a lot of items. As you can see, we already have 30 missiles, which is ridiculous. And we even have the whatchamacallit, the morph ball. So That saves some item collecting for us, but there's still some other things we can find. Of course, there's a lot of cool items in this game that we can get. A lot of ones that we actually see in later games. One of which doesn't come back until the Prime games, which is kind of a shame because it's a really cool item. We'll get to see that pretty soon, actually, but we'll get there when we get there. This is a save point, by the way, so I'll just quickly do that since it takes like half a second. And yeah, so that's this game. I actually really like this game. The first time I beat it was a couple years ago, I think. But it's a pretty fun game. It's still more challenging though, I think, than Super Metroid or even Zero Mission or Fusion. I'm not very good at this game, as you can probably see. I should probably just ignore that thing. The controls, although much improved from the original Metroid, are still not, you know, amazingly smooth or anything, so we'll see what I can do. I'm not amazing, but I'll do my best. Speaking of which, I am going to be collecting all the items I can in this game, so basically 100%. I mean, technically you can't get 100% in this game, in a way, for reasons you'll see when we get to them. It has to do with the beams you collect, but I'll talk about that when we actually collect our first beam. But I will be collecting like all the missile upgrades and all the energy packs, even though there's not too many, and all the other kinds of items you can get, even though there's a few that are optional. And geez, I'm already like in the low health here. This is not cool. Oh jeez, I hate those things. I wasn't sure I was gonna make that jump. Anyways, let's see what else we can talk about. Oh, as you might notice, there's some weird colored water down there. That's like lava or acid, I guess. How this game works is you notice there's a little Metroid counter in the lower right there. Every time you kill a Metroid, or one of the, well, pretty much every time you kill a Metroid, like the Alpha Metroid we saw, and we'll see some more powerful ones, that counter will go down, and when it hits certain numbers, the lava that you just saw will lower. Its level will lower, and that'll allow you to access new areas in the game and whatnot. So that's kind of how you progress in this. In most Metroid games, you have to collect a certain item or something to get past a specific area, which still happens in this game. Wow, double teamed. Jeez. There we go. So yeah, you still have to collect items to get past a couple points, but most of what you have to do involves killing Metroid, since that is like the point of the game. It makes sense. But after you, yeah, like I said, after you kill a certain amount of Metroids, you'll you'll get the lava to lower, and that'll allow you to access a new area. So let's see if we can. There we go. I'm getting a little low on health here. For let's kill this guy with a missile. Missiles are kind of obnoxiously slow in this game. They're kind of the same speed as super missiles are in Super Metroid, which is interesting, I find, but that's that. There. Make sure I save, because I'm going to die in this game. I can feel it. It's just going to happen at some point. But, alright, let's see. If we come this way first, we can actually pick up our first item through this door here. Whenever you encounter a door, they're always missile doors. That's just, you always have to shoot 5 missiles in them to open them. That's the only doors you'll find. But as you can see, we get the little item get music, and we finally have morph ball bombs now, so we can use those to blow open a path here and grab a missile expansion. So now we have 35 missiles. Or, well, 34 at the moment. But we have a max of 35, so that's cool. Upgrades! Alright, let's kind of waltz on over this way. And now that we've gotten that, we can head back up this way. Slowly. Woo! Samus is very floaty when she jumps. That's interesting. Well, if we destroy this thing, we can... there should be... Yeah, you can blow up a little path here, and we'll be able to get to a new area with an energy tank. It's actually kind of infuriating because you actually need to be able to do that. Like, that's not just a random hidden passage. Like, you have to find that hidden passage to progress through the game, which is completely obnoxious, but oh well. Which way do I want to go first? I'm not entirely sure. Let's go down first. I must admit, I'm using a map in this game because I do not know it. As I said, I do not know this game nearly as well as the other Metroid games. So, anyways, if we open this door, we come to the Ice Beam, which is cool stuff. We can now freeze enemies, which is handy. I will talk about this now. You can actually only have one beam at a time in this game, unlike Super Metroid, where you can kind of combine all of your beams, or Metroid Prime, where you can switch between them. This is more like the original Metroid, where once you have one beam, that's the beam you have, and if you pick up another one, then the one you have goes away. Luckily, you can re-pick up whatever beam you have. We'll come back to that area. Anyways, yeah, you can pick up whatever, you can like re-pick up a beam if you switch beams, so I don't think you can get your normal power beam back ever, but there are like two or three other beams in this game, and if you pick one up, and let's say I pick a different one up and lose the ice beam, I can come back to where I got the ice beam and it'll be there again, and I'll be able to grab it again. So let's head back up this way. But the only problem with that is you do, oh, I guess I can't get up there yet. You do have to backtrack to get beam weapons until you get to a certain point where there'll be a whole bunch of them in one area, so. But that's not for a little bit. Anyways, let's kill these guys. Doing much better now that we have the ice beam. We'll come back there later. Oh, shoot. Let's do... I wish you could morph ball in midair. That's one thing that was really nice about Super Metroid. It made things a lot faster. But oh well. If we come down here, we can go through this little morph ball maze-like area, and what's this? The spider ball! Whoa! So yeah, for those of you that don't know, this is actually the first time that the spider ball is used. The Prime games was not the first instance that it appeared, so. And unlike the Prime games, you can actually use the spider ball in this game to climb pretty much any surface, which is really cool. You can go practically anywhere. Now, you just have to follow along walls. I mean, it does have its limitations, but it's pretty cool. I really like the spider ball in this game a lot more than I like the Prime versions of it. Oh, shoot. Oh, no, I'm stuck. Oh, wait. Ah, crap. There we go. I was stuck. That was not cool. Now that we have the spider ball, though, we can use it, and we can climb up this wall. And the mechanics for this are really weird, because even though I'm going up, I'm actually pushing right on the control pad, and that can get really confusing. And, whoa! Looks like we've got another Alpha Metroid here. So let's take him out. Ooh. Oh, I thought I got him trapped, which would have been really awesome, but not quite. Oh well, he's down. So, let's come back this way. And, let's see, how are we doing on time? We've got a little bit more time. I think there's one more thing I can collect before we end this episode off. So, let's try and get over there quick and do that. So, if you remember we came here, we couldn't quite get here before, but now that we have the spider ball, we can use it, and we can climb up this wall here and get to a little area that has some missile expansions, so that's cool. So that's one, so let's see, we have like 40 now, I think. Get rid of this bird face. I believe these things are in a Super Metroid 2, but they look completely different. Oh well. Either way, we have we got another 2 missile expansions. Let's go this way. This was quicker. So, yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this episode. There's going to be more to come. This is probably going to be a pretty quick playthrough of the game. This isn't that long of a game, but thanks for watching, and join me in the next episode where we collect a bunch of more stuff. See you guys then.